Hello everyone, it's Wednesday night. Well, Wednesday evening, not quite night yet. Sadly, it's already dark here though. I don't really like when we go back to regular time in the Northeast because it gets so dark so early. It's been dark for probably an hour already. Anyway, just wanted to come on real quick tonight. I know I haven't been on yet to show you my car, but the weather here hasn't been the greatest yet. So I want to, kind of wait till a sunny day to do that for you. But actually this video is kind of about that. It's relationships and my dealing with finding a new car and meeting a neighbor who was the car dealer. Was a pretty interesting experience, and it confirmed a lot of what I know about building relationships and especially using that for business. So as you're hopping on, please say hi, let me know where you're coming in from, maybe what temperature it is where you are, because it's not so warm here. It's not super cold yet, but we're in the end of November and we're lucky if we don't have snow already. So for those coming on that have never met me before, I'm Mary Ellen Shahansky, and I am thrilled that you're here. So, like I said, say hi, let me know where you're coming in from. Facebook doesn't necessarily notify me when people hop on, so I don't know who I'm talking to. But I wanted to talk to you about building relationships tonight. Hey, Mary, how are you? Like my outfit? Yeah, bright colors, isn't it? I love purple. Is actually one of my favorite colors. So anything I can find that's in purple, I gravitate right to. So anyway, as far as relationships go, I'm going to just tell you a little about when I went to find a car. I went to a car dealership that I knew one of our neighbors, who I actually have never met before, was working for. And my niece and her husband have purchased cars from him before. So they actually said that they really trust him. Plus it's a big dealership and I knew I could drive several different types of cars. They have Fords, they have Hondas, they have all GM cars. So I could drive a variety of different cars just going to that one dealership. But when I walked in, my neighbor actually was the one that was standing right there. And he said, "Hi, my name is Jim." And we shook hands and I said, "Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Shahansky." And he just looked at me like, "I know that name." I'm like, "Yeah, we're neighbors." So, it broke the ice right away. We went over and sat down, but he took the time. And this is the building relationships part. If I didn't like him, if I didn't get to trust him in talking with him about cars, I wouldn't have bought from him. So really, you're taking the time, if in any aspect of your life, but especially if you're trying to build a business, you need to take the time to build the relationships of people that you may want to do business with, that you may want to be customers. He took the time. We sat down in his office for quite a while before we ever went out on the lot to look at cars so that he could find out, did I want a used car? Did I want a new car? And truly, I wouldn't have bought a new car if I had to actually order it and get it from the factory. And here's why. I am a believer in living toxic free and buying a brand new car. Everything in that car is brand new. All the materials have sizing in them. They have protective coatings put on them for stain resistance, all of that. So when you purchase a new car, there's a lot of toxic fumes coming off of all the materials. So I didn't necessarily want a brand new car. So when we went out on the lot, we actually weren't looking at the brand new cars because I was a little concerned with that. And luckily, he is the same way. He also, and I'm actually getting a text message right now from him coming down over the screen, so I couldn't even see you there for a few minutes. I don't know what it said. I didn't read it. But anyway, he also feels the same way about clean living. So he understood that. So when we finally went out into the parking lot, I wasn't sure where we were going, whether it was new or used. It really depended. And I just was fortunate enough that they had a 2016 still. So the 2016s may have been on the lot for a little while. They may have aired out a little bit, and some of those fumes have left the vehicles. And we're going into winter, so I didn't necessarily want a 2017. But he understood, he listened to what I was saying to find what was going to fit for me. It wasn't about what he was going to get out of it, because in all reality, a new car, he doesn't make as much money on. He's going to make money if he can sell me a 2014 to 2015. That's where he'd make a big commission, not selling me a brand new car. So building relationships, listening to people is huge. So here's 6 keys to good relationship building. Build a friendship. Now, like I said, he was a neighbor, but I've never met him before. His dad and my husband, his dad lives directly across the street from us. So I know his dad very well. His dad was actually the one that dug up our septic tank so we could get it pumped out. So I've known his dad for several years, and I knew of him, but I never met him personally. So the fact that he took the time to get to know me, we both learned a lot about our families. We talked a lot about his dad, because his dad is a hell of a character. But the relationship building was key to me buying the car from him. I actually didn't know when I went there that I was actually going to purchase from that dealership. It was his taking the time to find out what I needed, what I wanted, what I was looking for, and what was going to fit for me and Stan. That was the deciding factor as to whether I purchased from him. Even though he was a neighbor, that wasn't necessarily going to be the swing vote. So here are 6 keys to good relationship building, and friendship is the first. So whether it's for business or not, anybody that you're going to build a relationship with, you want to build a friendship from the start. And don't have expectations. Leave the person free within the relationship. Like, if I was worried about whether it affected our relationship as neighbors as to whether I chose him or not, he made it very clear it didn't matter. So leave people free to make the decisions within your relationship, and don't hold that against them. A lot of times in business, if you decide to go in a different direction, go with a different business, leave a business, some of your friends walk away from you. They cut you off. Why? Because you chose to go in a different direction? Then they really, truly weren't building a real relationship with you. Okay. Hey, Ben, I can't even read that. Aw, thank you. Great to see you on here. And thank you for commenting, so I knew you were here. So we got friendship, we have freedom, honesty. He was totally, come on, we're doing car dealership here. He could have not been honest about the cars that he was showing me. He could have directed me in a way to benefit him more than me. So he was 100% honest about what he was showing me. Trust. In all of the dealing, I started to trust him. Some car salesmen can be shady, and you get that feeling. They make you uncomfortable. He did not. I felt very, very comfortable. I could ask him anything, and I knew he was going to tell me the truth. So building trust, whether it's in a personal relationship or a business relationship, is key. Understanding. Don't listen to just make your next comment. Listen to understand what they're saying. It could be totally contrary to the way you think, But everybody's different. Everybody's been raised differently. Everybody sees the world differently. It's okay to not agree on everything, but you need to understand where that other person's coming from. Sometimes you need to have empathy for where they're coming from, whether they agree with you or not. And communication is key. And listening, to me, is key to communication. If you don't listen to hear, you listen just to say the next thing. My mother-in-law was always listening, just waiting for you to stop so she could say the next thing she wanted to say. It may not have had anything to do with what you were talking about. She just had something in her mind she wanted to say, and she couldn't wait for you to stop talking so she could say it. If you want to build good relationships where people want to work with you or build a friendship with you, you got to hear them. Hear them, not hear you, hear them. Because in listening to what they're saying to you, sometimes it's what they're not saying that is truly the most important thing that you need to help them. And it's a skill, it's a learned skill from really listening to people that you can gauge an underlying problem that they need help with. But you got to listen to find it. So people will do business with you if you build trust, if you build the relationship, if you build an actual friendship with them, and your motivating factor is to help them. Give more to them than what they're going to give to you, whether they ever choose to do business with you or not. You never know who they're going to bring you to, even. It's all in the relationships. You've got to build the relationships, whether it's for your personal life or whether it is for your business. Your business will flourish if you are the most giving, generous person that possibly they can come in contact with. You have to over-deliver. And I'll tell you another story, because this actually happened to me today too. Thanksgiving's next week. I went to it's a little vegetable stand that's close by. And I sadly don't shop there all the time like I used to, because I've started doing everything organic. However, I built a great relationship with the owner and his son. They're wonderful people. They're generous people. They do the flowers, the greenhouse, all of that. So I can get plants from them for my gardens as well. And they do turkeys, and they go to Pennsylvania and they get turkeys from an Amish farm, which is all clean. So I always get my turkeys from them. And I order multiple ones. Well, I walked in today, and I haven't been there all summer because I buy organic produce. I've asked them to go organic, but it's too expensive for them to do it because they're a small stand. They do sometimes get local stuff, but they don't do organic. But I walked in today, and I'm at the counter with their employee, and I'm filling out the information for them to order my turkeys. And Danny walks out of the back. Now he's the owner. It's him and his dad. His dad turned the business over to him a few years ago. He walked out of the back with some of the young men that work for him. And I saw them coming out, and I just said, "Hey, there's the man." And he turned and he looked, and he was like, "Hey, Mary Ellen, how are you?" And he walked over with his arms out and gave me a huge hug. Now, I haven't been there in months, but that's the kind of relationship building you want to do in your life. I haven't benefited his business for months, but I was there then, and he was happy to see me. And we talked because he's got back problems. I asked how he was doing, his wife, his dad. It was enjoyable. And the one thing I love about going there, and I wish they did do more stuff that I could purchase, is when I purchase groceries there, They have one of the guys take everything out. I don't have to carry anything out. It's great. Customer service, relationship building, key to everything in your life. So be the best friend anybody in your life can have. Truly, truly listen when people are talking to you. Because if you over-deliver, whether they want to do business with you or not, they're probably going to bring business to you. They're probably going to bring people to you that will benefit your business because you've built that relationship with them and they know you, they trust you, and they're going to be willing to bring their friends to you. I'm going to tell you one last story, which I don't remember where I heard the story, but it's pretty powerful on listening. There was a man who took a video crew who was very inconspicuous onto a plane. And this man got on the plane. He sat down next to whoever sat next to him on the plane. And he talked to that person and asked questions about them the entire trip and never answered a single question that that person asked back. So the whole trip, it was all about the person sitting next to him. And he had a video crew videotaping the entire thing. When they got off, this video crew stopped and asked this person that he was sitting next to, who is the most, I'm trying to remember the question that they asked. Who is the most interesting person you have met today? And he said, he started talking about the person that sat next to him that was asking him all the questions. And the news crew asked, well, what's his name? Where is he from? What does he do? The person couldn't even give them the name of the man that sat next to them, asking them questions all through the flight. But to them, that man was the most interesting person they had encountered that day. But they knew nothing about him. So that tells you a lot about listening to people and asking and building the relationship with them, taking yourself completely out of the picture and just giving them value. So that's all I have for you guys for today. And I looked at the weather and it looks like Friday is going to be a really sunny day. So hopefully Friday I can do a video and show you my new car. Hopefully I can do a live one, but it'll be outside. So we're out in the country and sometimes I can't get enough of a connection. So if I can't do a live video showing you outside, I will just record it and post it later. So great to see everybody that was on. Again, those that come on for the replay, comment, say hi, let me know where you're coming in from. And I hope to talk to you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Love ya.